How are you?
Oh,
Just getting the live stream over to YouTube going here. Wonderful. Yay. You look amazing.
thank you. You as well?
My hair would now look that cute like yours does. I love it.
Yours is
Maybe I
very
could,
long.
it's getting really long. I could something
You
even
like it longer?
so. Anyway, life's fun. You ready? I'm ready.
Decade. I'm ready.
All right. Well, I know we got a couple of people hopping on here, so we will just give them a couple of minutes here. And
Okay.
yeah, like I am like super excited for those last 2.5 days.
Yeah. I shifting gears, but that's okay. It will all work out.
Everybody have snacks at your house?
I think so. I don't know. One of them was hungry, and I'm like, you're gonna have to wait. It's like 20 after.
This is what happens with families. We have people that get hungry. Some people get hangry. I don't know if you have hangry people in your life.
Or both.
And you know what? When I have littles, it was, I had to have food ready for them,
Mhm.
either feed them before I dropped them off at my mom and dad's, go to my party. We did not have this kind of platform to be able to work from where we can be in the exact same home working and make that happen. So, yeah,
I agree.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh,
whoa, fun. So, yay. All right. Well, people should be getting on here momentarily, and we will get this party started. We are doing a brush clinic tonight. And so, the first thing that I really want to talk about with the brushes is we have a beautiful, wonderful professional brush set. And we're going to talk about all of these brushes tonight, plus some of our other ones. And so, if you're watching this on a replay, if you're watching this from the YouTube link, we want you to know you can set up and have a party with your consultant and say, you know what, I want to earn my brush set for free, or I want to earn a brush set because my daughter needs one, my granddaughter needs one, whatever that would look like in your life. I want to gift one. National Sales Director Emeritus Linda Tupin always said, you can pay full price for your products or you can get them for free. Okay. And you can get them for free by being a hostess. And so that's a beautiful thing with our brush set is that you can get them for free by being that hostess. So with that being said, I'm gonna run through just some of the brushes. That brush collection comes with our all over powder brush. It comes with our blush brush and three eye brushes. So it is three of them that we're going to talk to you about tonight: an all over brush, a smudger brush, and a crease contour brush, as you can see that right there. So everybody uses these brushes just a little differently. I had clients over this morning just to play with their brushes and kind of have a refresher on how to use them. And so do that with your consultant. We're also going to learn about foundation brushes tonight. There are three different ways to apply your foundation, and then there's your fingers. That's the fourth way. So we are going to kick this party off with Brenda Rankin. Tell us a little bit about each of these brushes. So take it away, Brenda.
well, I will say that when I first started doing Mary Kay, I did not wear foundation. So these tools are great to get the coverage that you're looking for. So the first one I want to use is actually our sponge. So it's flat on one end and pointed on the other end. The pointy part you can get underneath your eyes to get in those tight places or for detail work, if you will. And then the flat part, you can, kind of use it however you want to. So if you're looking for more of a sheer or a lightweight coverage when you're using a liquid foundation, this sponge applicator is a really, really great thing to use. $12 retail on that one. Now, some people still want liquid, but they don't want a sheer coverage. They want more of a medium coverage. That's where our liquid foundation brush comes in, and it's super soft. If you look at it, it's got an angle, so you can still get in the creases or the detail spot here. But what I love about this one, because it's round, it's super easy to work in a circular motion. And then, of course, to get along the jawline so you don't have that change in color from here to here. So if you want more of a medium coverage, I love this one. I actually have about 5 of these pulled out because I frankly do not like washing my brushes every day. So I have 5 of probably every brush we're going to talk about tonight pulled out for me because A, I can, and B, I love that. And then if you want more of a full coverage foundation using the same liquid foundation, whether it's CC cream, our matte finish, or our luminous finish, you can use this one. And it's kind of like a toothbrush, sort of. But the head of it is super silky soft. It's oval, and it's easy to go around in circles again to get your coverage, but it helps you get more of a full coverage look than a sheer look. So depending on what you want, you can use the same foundation because we color matched you really well, but you can get 3 different levels of coverage based on what tool you use. So I recommend having one of these at least in your bathroom in case you have a wedding that you want a full coverage, maybe medium coverage for work, and you're going to the beach, but you want to cover up a little bit because your skin tone is uneven, using the sponge for this one. Of course, you can wash them all with our cleansers that we have, which is great for that. And then eventually you want to replace this one, but it is antimicrobial material. So it's going to last you longer than the ones that you get at the grocery store or at the drugstore. So those are our foundation tools. Play with them with your consultant.
Awesome. Okay, so I have a couple of questions for you, Brenda. Number one, here's what I hear from my customers. Do I squirt the foundation on the brush? Do I dot the foundation on my face? What do I do with foundation? How do I use that and the tool together?
Well, one of the things I love about the tools is it helps you keep your hands clean. So if you're not washing your hands before you put foundation on, if you do the dot method, and I usually go forehead, nose, chin, and cheeks, and then blend with your brushes, you're still getting any bacteria from your hand on your skin. If you put it on the end of your brush, on this brush here, I usually like rub it and then blend it all the way around. And then making sure, and I forget what the name of this is, Marilee, maybe you know what it is. This little piece of skin right here.
Yes, I know it, and I'm not going to be able to say it, Brenda.
You think about that. You want to cover that too, so you don't have that line in front of there. So if you want to stay clean and you want to stay cleanly, put it on your brush. But personal preference, whatever you like.
Great tips on that. And did you find that when you first started the brush, like you were in love with it? That's another thing. People are like, "Will I get used to this? Will I fall in love with it?" It took me a little bit, but I'm in love with it. I don't know about you.
It's a learning curve. I love it. I love both of these ones. I don't use this sponge very often, strictly because I love these 2 other ones so much. This is probably my go-to the most with it. But if I'm feeling like I want a little bit more of a really great coverage or really, more of a polished look, I'll go to this one. There's a little learning curve to it. And I think once that you've tried these, you will not go back to your fingertips or your sponge or your cotton round, because some people you do that. So go for the tools. You can't paint a Mona Lisa with your fingers, so use the
True.
tool.
Oh, that's really
That's
good
so
right
good.
there. Woo-wee. All right. Oh my gosh, great foundation tips there. Well, next up, I'm going to pass this over to Vicky because she's got a specialty brush for us that she's going to talk about. And then she's going to talk about our other one that'll help with going over the top of your foundation and loose powder. So, yay. Take it away, Vicky.
All right. Well, the brush that I have is actually the masking brush, and you can use it. I like to use it with, like, especially the charcoal mask. You put it on and you can just paint your face where you want it. It leaves a nice even layer when you're doing it. It's very easy to clean because it's silicone, and you can use it for other things too. Like, I have actually not having my other brushes around, I've used it for my foundation to put it on. And so you can do it with that one too. But this is really a very handy brush. Your fingers stay clean, and it, like I said, everything goes on so nice and smooth, and the same type of layering. So, and then my other one is my all over brush. See how big and fluffy this thing is? This one here, especially with the loose powders that you have, you can put it on and then just kind of roll it on your face and blend it in. And it has a very smooth, soft bristles that leave it, I don't know, it just, I don't know what I want to say. But it puts just the right amount of face powder or the bronzing powder on your face in the right spots. So
Very true. I love all of that. I was just making sure that my client who said she was coming on had the link. So sorry about that. I'm just distracted in the background. But that was all so true with these. I love this. This one I have a couple of these open because I like them with my mineral powder and my translucent powder. So that's what I like with those. So anybody else? Little tip, do you use these differently or anything like that?
I use that brush in my pressed powder just to under my cheek color because I feel like it lets my cheek color go on more evenly and smoothly. It doesn't
Okay,
catch on anything.
very cool. I love
So
hearing how people use these. This is why I love rooming with other people because then you watch them use brushes differently than what you've ever used them, and you go, "Oh, I can do that too." So, yay! All right. Well, Marilee, take it away. I know you use a couple of different ones, and we're going to move to some eye products here with our eyes. And maybe you've got your brushes out as you're watching this. Maybe you've got your colors out and you want to practice with these, please do so. Just remember, you can get these for free by being a hostess. So book a color party and get your professional brush set or any of the fun add-ons in here. In fact, you know what? The first two people this week, okay, so by Wednesday, April 30th, that schedule a party with a consultant, I will get you this brush holder. Yeah. Ooh la la. Yep, yep, yep. It's a very fun. And it even says Mary Kay on it if I turn it around. All right, Marilee, take it away with your eye brushes.
yes, I am excited to do this because I have deep set eyes and it's kind of a different thing, it's just a particular eye shape and the the reason my eyes are deep set is because of my prominent brow bone and so my eyes are back further and so my whole objective with eyeshadow is to make the brow bone appear less prominent. So I'm going to start with a liquid eyeshadow and it comes in a tube like this. I like the light beam color because one of the things in this particular objective is if we're going to bring the brow bone back, we want to bring the eyelid out. Okay. So I'm going to start with this and I'm going to place this on my lid. There you go. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. I like that it's shiny. I can tell where it is. Um, and then after I apply that liquid eyeshadow, I take the cream color brush. Okay, it's flat one like this. These are all the same synthetic bristles, but this one is angled a little more on the edge of the brush. And so then you can just blend it a little bit or just spread it out. And I like that. I am also, besides having a prominent eyebrow, I'm also a person that has disappearing eyeshadow. And so if you have oily eyelids, sometimes when you put your, not all the time, what was for me an all the time situation, when you put your eyeshadow on, it would be gone in an hour. It just disappears. And so I find that using this liquid eyeshadow, and I can't see that one, this one, this side. But it just again, same thing. So other side, other eye. Whoop, same brush. And I really believe that using the cream brush when you've put on the liquid eyeshadow causes the eyeshadow to stay on better. The next thing I do is I will show you the all around or all the eye, excuse me, eye blending brush. And this one just looks like this. And I'm going to dip this in Moonstone, which is essentially the same color as the light beam. And what I find is it kind of just helps it stay on better. Again, you're working this, I have a disappearing eyeshadow situation. So I do everything I can to cause that to stay on better. Now I'm going to take this angled brush. You see it? Hopefully like that. And I use what I found for me is I just use a color that helps. I use the hazelnut color, and it helps pull that brow back. And so typically you would use this angled brush for your crease area, right? Because I have the eyes that I have that are deep set, I use it on this, the prominent part of my brow, just under my brow, the part of it, prominent part of my, yeah, just under my eyebrow. And so what that does is it causes that brow area to recede. And I will use this one that I used with the Moonstone as my blending brush as well. Okay. Let's just blend it in a little bit. And that is my 3 brushes. They are all $12 each. And these 3 do come in the brush set, so that's a good thing.
Yay! I love it. I love it. And there are a lot of women that have a very prominent brow bone, that, okay, how do I make my eyes come out? How do I make them not look like they're sunk back in? And you just got to see it right there. That is like so beautiful. And so tonight, I'm actually going to have the privilege of telling you just a little bit about a couple other brushes here. So our all over eyeshadow brush, which is big and fluffy. I'll just tell you with the big and fluffy one, you get a lighter application of color. The angled one that you just saw Mira Lee with will give you that crease in the eye to give you an almond shaped eye or to push back that brow bone like some of us have that more prominent. Oops, I grabbed the second one of that one. Didn't want that one. All right, third one. Blending the smudger brush. Okay. Now, this one you're going to see is a little bit more dense, shorter bristles. You can get more intensity of color. You can dampen any of these brushes, put them into our eyeshadow, and get a more intense eye look for your eyes. So I'm just going to do one eye real quick here for you. And I'm going to use the all over. And I am going to start with our Blossom color. And for me, I'm going to apply Blossom right up underneath my eyebrow area and just blend that in, okay? So all over. I too like to start with the liquid one, again, just because it gives you that waterproof quality, almost like a primer quality. You can also take your brushes, you can spritz them with the setting spray and get a more intense color on your lids also. I'm going to grab next. Oh, what should I do? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Okay, so if you saw my palette, I have lots of different colors to choose from. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to give you a little bit of the Desert Rose blush as my contour in here. You'll notice that my this is upside down. Okay, it goes like that. And that's the way Mary Lee used it also on hers to go in and upside down on there. So this is Desert Rose Blush. It's just giving me a little bit of a rosy color. Yes, you can go outside the box of the crayons, okay? We all learn in kindergarten, no color outside the lines. Well, think outside the box. Okay, let's just do that for now. Okay, isn't that fun? It just kind of
Yes.
woo, perks it up a little bit here. And then I'm going to go with our smoky plum color. It's a darker. Here's the Desert Rose blush. And I'm going to grab just a little bit of smoky plum. And for me, because I have more hooded eyes, I need to bring my color up a little bit here. Okay. So I'm going to bring a little bit at the outer corner, but I'm going to show you the last brush, this angled brush. You can do it for your brows and pop some stuff in, but I'm going to use it as a liner, okay? So I'm going to give myself just some little wings here. And the angled brush that's available for purchase now is one that has a spoolie on the other end of it. I'm actually out of stock. It's so popular right now. Okay, so I'm just bringing this in. I'm bringing it out so that I give more of a lift to my eye. Okay, see how now it just opens it up more versus this is just kind of flat. So, and then you can take that blending brush that Mary Lee talked about, always start from the outside, blend in, blend, 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 blend. Okay, it gives you that nice little look in there. Now, if I wanted that purple liner to look brighter, I would probably put a little bit of our steely gray on first and then put our eyeshadow right on the top of it while it's still wet and gives it that extra little pop of color. You can do that with any of our eyeliners. And this angled brush with the spoolie end on the other side is only $10. I think everybody needs one of these to use. So those are the eye brushes. Again, these come right in our professional brush set. The overall blending brush, the overall powder brush that Vicki talked about comes in that professional brush set. And so does this amazing, yeah, there it is. This is our blush brush, okay? So I'm actually going to take that same Desert Rose blush. I'm going to grab a little bit of that color on the tip of this. Going to come inward underneath, okay? Like I'm contouring with a darker blush shade. My brush is upside down, okay? My little finger is in this little indentation. Upside down, blend, 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 okay? So it gives you a little bit of a contour. And then I would take, you only want one for a contour. Then you want to get a second blush brush for your regular blush to go on. I'm going to use a little bit of Shy tonight. I'm going to fill in the apple and then bring it up, okay? Fill in the apple, bring it up, and you can blend those two together. Ta-da! Very easy, okay? So super, super easy. I love the brushes. I definitely do. Hey, Angela, glad that you're on here. So we're going to recap our brushes tonight. So Brenda, if you want to start with yours and recap the foundation brushes.
Yep. So sponge, $12. The liquid foundation brush, which I put away already in this little snuggie sack here. Angled top. This one retails for $14. And then the blending brush comes in this nice box. See, it looks like a toothpaste brush. $16 for that one.
So the three ways, light, medium, full coverage.
Yep.
That is how to look at those right there. All right, Vicki, recap your brushes for tonight for us, please.
Okay. Mine was the all over brush, and it's this nice big fluffy brush. This one is $16 and it's for all the like the loose powders and the luminous whatever powder. And then the other one was the masking brush, and it's actually a silicone brush that will give you nice smooth layers and the right amount on there, and that one is $12.
Love it. Love it. Marilee.
All right, I've got the eye crease. This is the angled one. Okay. And the this is the all over, not all over. This is I the blending brush, and that one is that shape, and the cream color brush, which is flat, and they are all $12 each.
Isn't that
I like
great?
that last one for concealer.
Yeah, that
Oh, yeah.
concealer one. It's like so good. You can use that for concealer, liquid eyeshadow.
Yes.
Again, have multiples of those, because if you're going to use one that's just your concealer, maybe put a little color tape or something on it, or,
Yep.
frozen Band-Aid. I don't know. I would use
Whatever
something I
works
had
for
in my
you.
house.
Whatever works for you.
Draw. Oh my gosh. But multiples, because, and we're going to talk about cleaning your brushes too. I want to show one thing with this all over brush here. I'm actually going to use our Honey Glow highlighter. Okay, so I put some on here, and I'm going to highlight in the center of my face and on the tops of my cheeks. Sometimes I like to highlight on the top of my nose, just right where the sun would kiss it. And we have a fabulous golden highlighter right now. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about shimmerific and give you that little bit of just glow on your skin, as you can kind of see there. All right. And I don't have any filters on my tube. I just want to let you all know that I don't do filters. What you see is what you get. This is the real me. So with that, I love highlighting, especially as we start to move 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and plus. I like a little highlight. They might tell you, don't do shimmer on your face. It's going to settle in the lines. Well, they were talking to Mary Kay women who use the #1 best-selling brand of skincare and have amazing looking skin. I actually think this little glow makes it more youthful, is what my personal opinion is on that. It is more youthful. And, you all radiate joy because you are so amazing. So you can even take these bronzers, highlighters, contours, mix and match these as eye colors like I did tonight too. Or, the darker of the blush for a contour in here with that blush brush. So for me, it was blush brush, boom. Okay, this one is cheek color brush, $14. I have to look down. I don't have them memorized. Okay, so light on the apples and contour and blend them together. Super easy with that one. And then I use the 3 that come in our professional brush set. And again, these are all $12 each, like Marilee was saying. And then our angled brush that can be used for liner or eyebrows, only $10. Is there any brushes we missed in there? I don't think so.
No, but I have a question.
Yes, ask away.
Not related to brushes, but related to experience. Beth, how long have you been in Mary Kay?
I was 36 years on April 13th.
And Marilee, how about you?
29 years.
And Vicky?
24, 25, I'm not sure.
She had 25 in October.
So
25.
Between the 4 of us, we have 117 years of experience in Mary Kay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. So, Angela, we're going to ask you what your questions are about brushes. And so if you want to unmute, we would love to have your questions because they would help everybody watching this.
I hopped on late, so I'm wondering, of the 3 small brushes that you showed, what do you usually use? The one with the one on the bottom. What do you usually use that one for?
Okay, so for me, and all of you can jump on because I think we probably all use these a little bit different. For me, I like this one because it gives me more intensity of color. So I'm going to grab some burnished bronze on here. And if I want to have just a deeper color look, I'm going to start at the outer corner of the eye. And I'm just going to I'm kind of swirling this in. When you swirl this brush, it applies more color. When you sweep back and forth, when you swirl, it blends. When you sweep back and forth, it gives you more color. Okay. So I'm giving myself more color on there. Now I could just do that burnished bronze because of the shortness of it. It gives more intensity of color. If I were just to do the burnished bronze on this more puffy one, it's going to give a lighter color. I'm just using what's left on the brush.
I always use that one because I like lighter colors. I'm not brave with makeup, especially on my eyes. I'm
Well,
trying to get more comfortable, but
that's good. Well, I'm going to tell you as everything's falling off my desk here. It's so funny. Did you see me catching it all? If you want to be lighter with this one, instead of working it in and grabbing a lot of color, okay, you just go dot, dot, and then you can go dot, dot, okay? And then you can blend it. And I even tell people, if you're afraid it's gonna be too dark, just do a couple of dots, wipe it off. I've got a little dark towel in my bathroom. I'll wipe it off, and then I come back in and blend with it. So just dot, dot.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else use this one differently than what I do? Or have another tip for
Same way.
Angela?
You can use it as an eyeliner too if you want a thicker eyeliner, thicker line versus a smaller line, or a smudge if you want to smudge out your eyeliner once you've got the eye color on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great thing too. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. We didn't talk about that. I just had a little brown left on there, so pop that right underneath. And do that. So these, I want to tell people, and I really want to tell everybody because I will tell you that probably 90% of all clients feel like Angela. Like, how do I do this? I'm afraid of brushes. I stick with one I'm most comfortable with because I haven't experimented a lot with these other ones. Experiment with them. Give yourself just a couple of dots in there. Blend with them. This is washable. It comes off. It's not a tattoo where you have to have precision. You can apply some dots of color, come back in and blend it. You can come back in with a lighter, puffier brush and a light color over the top of it and just blend it in because you're going to keep that lid area light. It's all good. Okay. Play with them, experiment with them. I was listening to a podcast today that says bundle habits. So if you're not in the habit of using your brushes, how can you bundle that in the morning? Okay. So if you are always in the bathroom, for me, it is I brush my teeth and then I put on my makeup. And so it's that bundling together versus just I only left enough time to brush my teeth, do my hair, and I'm out the door. Okay, give yourself just 2 or 3 extra minutes and start with the light color. Okay, mascara and out the door. And then maybe a couple, 3 days down the road that you've been doing that, like merely liquid eye color, a little bit of one lighter color over the top of it, and you're out the door. Then maybe that as you start to progress, it's like, okay, let me put a couple little dots of a darker color right at the outer corner and blend quick. And all of a sudden, you're going to see that that habit starts to be created in your space. And I really liked how the podcast presenter said that. It was like, oh, create new habits. You got to bundle them together with another habit you already do. And I went, oh, so smart. So Yes, I love our brush set. Again, book and hold a brush party. And I'm going to just give a little like shout out here. Our unit is doing $100 grocery giveaway in the month of May. So host a party. You get an entry because you're hosting the party. You get an entry for every $100 you sell. You get an entry for every new booking from your party. You get an entry because you listen to our career facts, and we are giving away above and beyond hostess credit. Okay, that's not your hostess credit. It's just a bonus on top of it is a gift card to your grocery store of choice. So you're gonna get $100 grocery card on top of it. I'm like super excited about that. You know, hey, $100 free money to go to the grocery store. But you might get 2 bags of groceries with that. I don't know. Depends on what you get. So book your parties. It's going to be a blast and a half. So thank you for joining us, Angela. I'm glad you hopped on with us. And sorry for any confusion if that link didn't come through any other way except what I just sent you. So please forgive me on that. So many forms of communication. So we are going to move into our power up night here, and you can stay and you can watch how we recognize our consultants. I love that. And I have a pom pom here because I have got to give a shout out to our unit. We have finished the $300,000 unit club as of today. So exciting. Oh my goodness. And that means that we're being recognized as a unit club. So that's what we did last year. And our goal this year is to do and then some. And the company actually says we're on target for 400, but I believe we can blow that out of the water and go above and beyond. So I just had to do a big huge shout out for that. Woo! Yay, unit. Congratulations. All right. So then let's do how are what have you here's my new question. You know, I've always said, what are you proud of yourself for? You can either do what are you proud of yourself for, or what did you learn last week? What did you learn last week? Or what are you proud of yourself for? Mm, 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 mm. Good question.
What I've learned in Mary Kay is when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. But sometimes the teacher is ready and the student is not. So what do you do with that? Beth and I had this conversation today. So it wasn't really what I'm excited about from last week, but I'm realizing I'm listening better to people.
Mm.
So it's kind of a deeper level of listening versus just listening to respond or listening to understand. It's listening to see beyond
Mm.
to the lesson. So that's what if I'm excited about it, but that's where I'm at.
I like that, listening better, becoming that better listener. You know, Mary Kay always said this is a self-improvement course we get paid to take. And that's a beautiful thing. All right, Vicki, Marilee.
I learned that I am telling myself I am really busy. But trouble is, it isn't always with Mary Kay. It's with other things. So I have to start learning more, prioritize my time.
Mm. And for purposes, because other consultants are going to be watching this, what is one place you feel like you need to prioritize that time? And maybe somebody else wants to jump in here too, because I think we can all be there at any given moment, you know, of letting other things come in, or where do you want to create that space for your Mary Kay business? Or how could you do that?
Well, I know one of the things that I've been doing is I have a lady that I've been taking to doctor's appointments and she's gotten to the point where she just likes me to come over and not necessarily to take her anywhere, but just, I guess, more for company. I'm thinking that's what it is. And of course I go. And then when I get home, I'm exhausted and I don't want to do anything.
Mhm.
So I need to do my weekly plan sheet would probably be good if I started doing that again. So
Yeah, that's a great thing because we can plan out that time, and that's emotional exhaustion. Okay, so if anybody else has had emotional exhaustion, it's looking at where we're allowing our energy to go and who's going to get the energy. Are you giving it to someone else, or are you keeping your energy that day for a task that's very important to you? And maybe in that instance, I know a little bit about the situation is maybe, hey, if we get your doctor's appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays or Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings, then I can work. Okay. And that can be that languaging. And then I can schedule my work time for Mondays, Wednesday afternoons, Thursdays, and Fridays. So I have time to work my business. Okay. And then when you prioritize your business first, it's amazing how much you can get done in 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 120 minutes. Okay. 1 or 2 hours. But if we're always allowing everything else to come in first in our business to get the leftovers, we feel depleted. And
Yeah.
Vicki, I can only talk to that because I've been there and I've done that to myself. And when all of a sudden I have no more emotional energy for the most important things in my life, I have to take a step back and go, okay, how do I reprioritize this? Or how do I re-language without hurting someone's feelings? Like, oh
Right.
my gosh, I would love to come over, but I have a Mary Kay appointment. And maybe that Mary Kay appointment is that you're making 10 phone calls. That's your Mary Kay appointment.
Right.
And so those can be things that we can say, hey, I got a Mary Kay, I've got a business appointment. So, and that's okay. Like, I did not pick up the phone today when my daughter-in-law called me. I didn't realize it. My phone was upstairs. My grandson was sick at school. They were looking for somebody to come and pick him up. So, in the process of me not being there because I was with the client, by the time I got to it, she had already made other arrangements and everything got taken care of. People figure things out when we're not available for them. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Other things you're learning this week. I love that. The time management conversation and emotional expenditure of ourselves and listening better.
I was reminded today, that it really is for me to just contact, for example, 10 people every day is not a big commitment of my time.
Mm,
And I know this because I have done this before. Last week was a bit of a challenging week because coming off of Easter, we had which we went to Marquezan for. No, that trip for us is 3 hours each way. Okay. That's a lot of travel. Then on Wednesday, we had a funeral in Menominee Falls. So yeah, so we went back to Marquezan Tuesday after David got done with work. So and stayed there Tuesday night, then went to Menominee Falls and then drove back all the way home. By the time Thursday came, I was done. I was just done. So, some weeks that is like that. And that was just a hard, uncommon week. It was just a week. But I am excited to get back on the train of making contacts every day and taking that forward.
awesome. That is so good. And it's not if we fall off, okay? It's how quickly we get back on and do that. Even on the days where we're exhausted or tired. And, I get that. It's like, okay, 10 phone calls. I'm tired, but 10 phone calls. Boom, 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 boom,
Right.
boom. And it's like, okay, I did it anyway. And I love that Arlene Lenars, You know, our very first national ever told us that, but I did it anyway. There can be this happening and that happening and this happening, but I did it anyway. You know, and I love that she would always talk about it. So great, great lessons, ladies. I love this because in Mary Kay, we learned so many life lessons. I just say that we are raised in this business. So yay. Well, a quick shout out here as we wrap up the next 48 hours, just a little bit over 48 hours to the end of an audacious April and getting our month set up. We do have the grocery giveaway, like you just heard me talk about, $10 per consultant. We are going to collect all of that money and then that will be given out. Anything collected above and beyond $100 will be given to a consultant. Okay, so all money's going back out. It's not staying anywhere other than going back to you guys. So make sure you're sending that in. Tomorrow at 11, I will be hopping on Zoom and you can hop on, mute yourself if you want to, but I am doing it booking time. I am calling and getting bookings for the month of May with this whole grocery giveaway on top of Hostess Credit. So if you want to join in, I would love to have it. If you want to mute me, mute you, whatever, you know, you can do that too. After you're like, all right, I've heard her with enough phone calls. I better get some of my own done here. You know, you can stay on or you can pop off, whatever you want to do. It does not matter to me. I just want it to be that energy time of like, okay, I'm getting on the phone. I'm going to make my booking calls. So I will be doing that tomorrow at 11. We have just over 48 hours left in a $20 starter kit. You know, who can you text that out to? Who's been maybe a former team member, someone who's been on your heart, people that love the product, order a lot of products. Hey, I was thinking of you. It's $20 in the next 48 hours. So through April 30th, that $20 starter kit, which our queen last week, well, this week, she just got a brand new recruit. It was last week. Brenda, you got a brand new recruit, Julie. So yay. And so Julie and I will be talking at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and just going over who she is and how I can just assist her. So Brenda, if you're available, we'll connect in on a 3-way call then. I love to do that with recruiters and their team members and just do those 3-way calls with them. I know a lot of you have been letting me know you're working with your team, helping them get their orders in. And we have our wholesale contest so you can get the free new products before they're available this month through your wholesale orders. So check that out. We've posted a lot, emailed it a lot. So it's coming to an end here Wednesday. So lots of things. Carrie Parker earned last week new samplers of new products. So they're gone in the mail to her. Yay, Carrie. She got her order in and she's just inches away from her 700 wholesale. So here's people on target for 700 wholesale and did you guys see that bag? Like, oh my gosh, that striped bag. It's like a beach bag cooler and it's gorgeous this month. So fun. Can't wait to take mine on my kayak this summer. When I go kayaking, I can take some cold stuff with me. All right. Vicki Hen, you are on target. Yay. Lori Balser, Brenda Ing Rankin, Andrea Ackerman, Barbara Bitsky, Mary Sitchie, Bev Bartles, Danny Hansen, Bonnie Follabeck. Up over 600 is Rebecca Fulkerson. She is only $97 wholesale away from that beautiful beach bag. I know she's going to be watching the replay of this tonight. Carrie is only $34 wholesale away. Oh my gosh, Carrie. Woo-woo-woo. And already earning their bags. Patsy Lauer, congratulations. Woo! And myself, my new order went in. So your products are coming, my friends, and your samplers and everything. So yay. We have Nurses Week, Teachers Week coming up this next week. Are there schools that you can get into? Are there clinics that you could bless nurses, do satin hands in there? I had a new skincare customer and she works for a chiropractic clinic. And I said, hey, I would love to come in and pamper the staff there with satin hands, satin lips, and they can register to get a free satin hands. And she's like, oh my gosh, yeah, let me talk to my people. So I was like, these are the ways, those are the connections to get you into more people, more people, more people. So, and she happened to be a bridal lead that came to do her wedding makeup and book me to do her makeup. And she got on skincare. She loved how her face. Yay. Next Monday night, we will be at Reach Out Lodi. Can you believe next Monday night is Cinco de Mayo? May 5th already. So we will be having the taco bar there. I know a lot of you have already signed up for different pieces of the taco bar that you're going to bring. Do you know that TACO stands for Totally Awesome Career Opportunity? So you could do Zoom facials next Monday night. You could meet with us in person next Monday night, however you would like to do that. And then Mary Kay's birthday will be the following Monday night. And we will be in Portage that night, and it will be our moving on up night. But the room will be open at 3. And I already have like 5 people booked in for that event to come and do makeovers in the afternoon in honor of Mary Kay's birthday. So our goal is to see 13 faces at the event that night, or with you who are not local to do faces maybe in your own home during the day. It's Mary Kay's birthday. Let's honor the lady. So set a goal that you could do that day, or partner with someone and say, my friend and I, we've got this goal to see 13 faces. So help me out that day. Let me borrow your face. Let me get you updated. So, all right, let's do your sales count up here so I can recognize you. If you turn your weekly accomplishment sheet in last week, I want to recognize you. Marilyn is putting that on her 6 most important things list to do. Because she does not like coming to tax time and having to do that all. So she would like to get that all done, okay?
It's a true story.
Okay, so Tuesday, Marilyn, you can do all of January. Wednesday, February. Thursday,
I like
March.
it.
Friday, you'll be all caught up for April. Yay! Just gave you a game plan there, okay? Put it on the 6 list.
Thank you.
All right. If you sold 100 or more last week, woohoo! And Vicky's going, and this is why I'm getting my weekly plan sheet back out so I can be with people again. I love you, Vicky.
I know.
Oh my gosh. You have $500 weeks all the time. So I get it. When I get to that point, I go, and then I got to change something.
Yes, say no.
Just say no. It's a complete sentence. Period. All right. I learned that one in Mary Kay too. Yeah. I'm a recovering people pleaser, just so y'all know. A $200 week. A $300 week. Yay, Brenda. 400, 500, 600. Woo! I'm going to do a quick shout out here because I wrote down Darla Michalecki had a $580 week. Yay! And moving on up, 600, a $700 week. Andrea Ackerman came. We trained on how to do her weekly accomplishment sheets, and she has sold $774 worth of product.
Yay.
Wow. Yay, Andrea! Woo! So cool. And I know Brenda's over this. So 800, 900, $1,000 week.
Oh.
$1,100 week. What was your week?
1,031.
Yay.
$1,031.
And I'm still learning how to do the weekly summary sheets on InTouch, so I'm going off my boulevard.
That's okay. You did it great. You did it great on InTouch. So
Okay, good.
and I love the fact, I mean, one thing Brenda learned this week, we also learned that online orders get propagated right to the weekly accomplishment sheets online. And so when you put them in underneath your customers to keep the detailed list, it propagates right to your weekly accomplishment sheet. It's a beautiful thing. So, and then all you have to do is click add and they go right into the weekly accomplishment and you're all done. Super easy.
Very.
Smile, nod, and say yes, Beth. So those of us that did not have $1,000 week, we would like to hear from you because we want $1,000 weeks, week in and week out, just like you. Give us some tips.
I'm going to say don't track. And that sounds really bad. But in the process of not tracking last week, I sold $1,000. What I did track was who did I call every day? And then I highlighted them with yellow. And then who responded back and I highlighted them with orange. And if I sold something to them, I highlighted it with green.
Oh, money.
Okay.
Money or completed sale. And I have an ongoing running list of people. It's like, yeah, I need something. But they didn't tell me what they needed. So then I had a follow-up list. So I was not tracking, but following up. Or not tracking in the traditional sense of follow the numbers. It was keep track of the people. And we all have a pretty large customer base after 117 years in the business. So it was just those reaching out. And Marilee, you're right. 10 doesn't seem like a lot, and it's really not.
No.
And there were some days I did 20 and there were some days I did 0. But then I could go back, who did I talk to? And now this next few days, I'm going to go, I came up with a message that said, I know life gets really busy. And I'm not sure if my message got lost in your feed. I wanted to check back.
That's good.
Or I'll also say, my phone's been acting a little funky, so I wasn't quite sure if you got my message. So blame the phone. And then it's not so bad if you contacted them twice in 3 days. And they didn't respond. And then getting better responses after that second one.
Okay.
I can be guilty of that too. You see the message, but you don't respond.
I know.
Yes.
It's like, oh,
Yes.
dang, I meant to get back to you.
Well, and especially if you have your Facebook open, then their message pops up.
Yeah.
And it shows that you've seen it, but you might not have read it. And when I'm learning too about my daughter who is on a journey of educating herself about the ADHD world, that people that have that condition, if you want to call it, and they're like, they often look at a message. So how many people in your customer base have, you may be ADHD or they're just distracted or a busy life that, oh, I did not respond to that.
Right.
So I would say
that's such a good point, Brenda. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, it's very, that's been eye-opening to me. And it the more, and that's why I said about listening, the more you listen and the more you learn, the more you see, and then the more you can empathize or work it into what you're doing without, beating yourself up. And with what you said, Vicki, Beth and I had a conversation with that probably 2 weeks ago. Our property manager, maintenance guy is going through some things, and I was kind of mentoring him a little bit. He's the age of my kids. And it got to be a lot because there's a lot of other stuff that I'm trying to manage in my family. And I'm just like, Beth, I can't do it all. She's like, boundaries and set your work hours again. And the downfall and the upside of working for ourselves is that we have flexibility. And sometimes we over flexibility ourselves.
Oh, yes.
So that was the other thing is I didn't over flexibility myself. And I use a digital calendar. But when you look at a digital calendar, you look extremely busy. So I try to go back to this. And when you go back to this, you got a lot of white space that you don't see when you're using a digital calendar. Or even if you're using a weekly plan sheet, because it's by the hour, this one's by 15-minute increments. And I've got a lot of white space. So I paid more attention to that too.
So smart. So smart. I love that. I love the phone dialogues you just got or the reconnect dialogues. and who did I call? Yellow, orange, green, and those track the people you're talking to, track the people you're talking to. That is huge, huge, huge. So, my friends, we are going to finish April amazingly. We have got these last, let's see, 61, 62, 63 days left in the seminar year. 63 days. And that's 63 days to Cadillac. And we are earning one of the last gas powered Cadillacs that Mary Kay, that probably Cadillac's going to make. This is not just a Mary Kay decision, it is a Cadillac decision that they wanted to be the first to go all electric vehicles. So just know we're going to earn one of the last ones here. So, yay! Together we can. Together we can. Faces. So tomorrow at 11 o'clock, I'll be on doing bookings. So grab your booking dialogues and your lists and come and learn with me because I'd love to have that. Thanks for doing the brush clinic with us tonight. I think I'm going to ask Erin to go ahead and just cut that brush clinic right in there so we can have a clean video of just the brush clinic to be able to send out to people for them to be able to learn about our brushes. So thank you for being trainers tonight. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your night. All right. We'll see you Thursday for bingo. I'll be getting all that information out so you can help me with bingo. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.